Hey everybody, welcome to Whiskey and the Writings. My name is Joe and this is a special edition video where here I am on site in Dubrovnik, Croatia, and I'm really excited to show this to you. Now, of course, I don't have a whiskey in my hand, and that's unfortunate. I won't be able to drink anything because I'm here in this historical location. This is Old Town Dubrovnik, and we are on the castle walls, and you can see on my right where these walls that beautifully surround this entire old city, and on my left you can see the rooftops of this city, and it's just a gorgeous, beautiful thing to be here in this location. And I wanted to record this special edition video because I have some thoughts about this, as you can imagine I do. And so it's going to be a short video because I can't stand up here for an hour and keep talking like this, and I'm shooting this on my iPhone, and Danielle is helping me record, so thank you so much, Danielle. But whatever glass you have in front of you, pour your drink, sit back, take a sip as we take in this location. Now, there's amazing things about this. These city walls were constructed in the 14th, 15th, and leading into the 16th century. So these are very old places that we're standing here. And this city wall was created to protect the people inside the walls, much like any medieval ancient city you can imagine as you picture castles in your imagination. And if you're a Game of Thrones fan, you might even recognize this place because that's where they shot most of their seasons. But I say this to recall this reality and this idea that fortress walls were a big part of how society lived and how they protected themselves in the ancient world. And it's not unlike some of the things that we do today in our lives. We're really good at creating fortress walls, and fortress walls can do good things. They can protect you, and there are times that we need to create walls that we need to protect ourselves. There are times that we need to protect the people around us, but mostly these walls protect us from the outside. And I want to argue here on this video real quick why I think that's maybe something we shouldn't have in our lives today. You see, walls represent so much in our lives, and walls can separate us and keep us away from the people that we're afraid of, the people that are different from us. And it's those very people that sometimes we actually need to learn from, the people that we need to grow from, the experiences that they provide us. And as I look at these walls, I'm reminded of the way that we insulate ourselves from the outside world. And in a beautiful place like this, it was natural. They were trying to protect from outside forces, invading forces. And sometimes the church can be like that. We make church into something that's defensive instead of offensive, something that we need to protect ourselves from that big bad world out there, not realizing that those are the very people that Jesus calls us to love and to serve and to give our lives to. And so I'm just in awe as I sit here and I take in the beauty of this place and the architecture that goes into it. And I'm reminded that we often all live our lives like this at different parts in our journey. And I want to encourage you that maybe if you feel like that, you're scared of the outside world, you're trying to protect yourself from the bad world. And I'm not saying that there's not bad things that we need to be aware of or that we should avoid. There's certainly discernment plays a role in all of that. But what happens is that when we create these walls in our lives, we actually remove ourselves from the ability to grow and to learn and to mature. And I believe that Jesus is calling us to tear down these walls. And one of the areas in the text that I'm thinking of here in the moment is when Jesus is in front of his disciples, and he turns and he looks at the Temple Mount. And the Temple Mount is this beautiful structure, not unlike what you're seeing behind me, that had walls that protected its city. And he said, not one stone will be upon another. He talks about this destruction of the walls. Now we know in 70 AD that actually happened. The Romans sacked Jerusalem in almost a fulfillment of Jesus's prophecy of what would happen. Now why did he talk about that? Because the reality is that the religious leaders of that day had become comfortable protecting themselves in the wall. They failed to see that the kingdom of God was actually inviting us to break out of those walls and to the people that needed it most. And so the religious people of that day, they had lost sight of that. And by Jesus saying that this temple in representing his body that was going to be destroyed and would rise again in 3 days. The beauty of the connecting elements of all of that is so amazing, because what happens in Acts chapter 2 is that the Spirit comes upon them and indwells in them and breathes upon them. And what happens is that activates them to go out. And what does he say when he's standing on the mount in Jerusalem? And he says in Matthew, he says, go into all the world and tell them about my kingdom. He says, start in Jerusalem, then go to Samaria, then go Judea, and then go to the other ends of the earth. And so the reality is that sometimes we're a lot like the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and we build walls of religion to protect us from the things that we think are going to harm us. And what God is inviting us into is a reality of growth, a reality of maturing. And we can't do that if we just sit in the walls. So this was going to be a short video, and I hope it was encouraging, and I want to challenge you to be someone who goes outside the wall and sees what's out there that God has for you. And maybe, just maybe, you might be surprised. Hey, I want to thank you. I know it was a short one. You're used to like hour-longs, and that's not this, but hey, I can't stay up here too much longer because they're going to close this place down, and I have some sightseeing still to do. So thank you for watching this quick episode. Thank you, Danielle, for filming for me. And y'all, we'll see you next time on a regular edition of Whiskey in the Writings. Cheers.